Hey, this is Christiane, the Mosaic Shaman. I'm working on the Tree of Life project. It's a large 5-foot tree. It's going to span, the top point of it will be 7 feet, and then the rest is 5. It's a 5 by 7 foot tree that I'm doing on a mural, an inner city mural for a memory garden, and Grandma Rita's memory garden. And I've been commissioned to do this piece. So I really have fallen in love with this color of glass. I just have to say, this brown marbling is so beautiful. I really like glass. It gets me really excited when I see glass, and so I get to work with glass art. So right now we're doing the branches of the tree, and I have been marking off the different sizes that I want to cut. I use my cutter. Get into the frame just a little bit more. And then I score the glass. And when I score the glass, I want it to make a sound as it cuts the glass. That way I know that it's going to break. Now this glass has been really fun and challenging. It's broken into different pieces. Maybe some of the pieces I've wanted it to break into, and some of them were unexpected. So then I get to create more puzzles with those pieces. So I'm going to snap it off with the breakers. I line those up right there with the cut, and I push lightly on those. And that one broke really nice. So here's my tip for this particular trunk piece. Now I have another one coming out here. So what I'll do is I'll look at the glass here. Lots of glass pieces that are breaking up. The nice thing about the ones when they break off like that is sometimes they're just right for a tiny branch that's coming off the side there. Don't particularly like that one, so I won't leave it there. I may have to cut one. And I'm working with matching the grain up. The grain, because there's a grain in this glass. So I want the grain to run in a certain direction. Ooh, I like that one. I like how that's going to run. So what I'm going to do is take this piece, put it on top, and I'm going to score it. I mark it before I score it. Now it is, that moved a little bit, so I don't want it to do that. These aren't glued down yet, these pieces. That is a little thicker than I want it to be, so I'm going to want to make a curvature in the branch. Let's see how that curvature cut works. Now, I have talked before that I like a little sponge with a little water, and then I put some cutting oil on it, and I stick my cutter in there each time. That's how I prefer to keep the oil on the cutter. And then I take my finger right along the side of the cutter to keep it in direction, with which direction I want it to go. Seems like my tools always disappear. They're right here by me. So now let's see what happens when I push down on it. It's a curvature line, so it's going to break off in little pieces. This one is choosing to. But it is so far following that line the way I want it to, which is nice, because sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. Now I've got all these little pieces. So great, because these little pieces make all sorts of different art projects too, as well. So now I'm going to cut where I put the line in. Get a straight cut across from that. It's still probably thicker than I really want it to be, but I'm going to put it in here for a minute, and I'm going to line it up so it kind of fits that grain right there. And I believe I'll put another branch coming off the top here. I'm using, there's 2 sides to your glass. I'm using the shinier side because I just prefer it right now. That could line up right there very nicely. I'm going to want to trim it down just a little bit. So now when I get these pieces like that, they're very rough and they're very sharp. So I'll take them into the grinder, and whenever you're using the grinder, I want to give you a tip. I go around the whole piece before I start shaping it, just so that I can touch it and not cut my finger. I get enough cuts as I work with glass. I don't need to add to that. So I take this to the grinder, I grind around the whole piece, and then I'll start shaping it. Then I'll bring that piece back and put it in here. So you're kind of seeing as the tree is developing. Now I can only go this high because it's 5 foot, because I'm working on a surface. When you see the picture, there are some wires that come across, there's an electrical box. So I have to move around that. Pretty soon I'm gonna be ready to start putting those leaves on, those 2,000, or about actually 2,700 leaves I did that are 3 inches to 1.5 inches, and they'll fill this in. This is Christiane the Mosaic Shaman. Thanks for watching. As the Tree of Life progresses, it'll be an inner city mural. I wanted my whole life to create these inner city murals because I believe that the shattered pieces of our lives is what make who we are. And I'm gonna get to work with some children on this mural, and we're gonna create some beautiful flowers to go on the bench seat. They're gonna create the flowers. So we're gonna have a series of videos about this. This is a dream come true. Go out, seek your dreams, see the art and heart of the world, and make things happen. This is Christiane the Mosaic Shaman. Namaste.